praise unto Yahweh Shai Bashim Kodash. I double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. And honest brothers to be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. The brother everybody are coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Kodash. Giving our praise unto Yahweh Shai Bashim Kodash. It's going to be a relatively quick video, in transit style video. And it's going to be based upon this scripture here and a few points that we can relate to this topic of a good mental well-being. Okay, a good mental well-being, which, you know, there's things you could do to help yourself along the way out here in this position of suffering and in this position of observing this world and how this world is ruled and how just terrible it is to how we could be. Okay, because indeed the earth is beautiful, as you've seen from the clip that I took this morning. There's places you can go where you can have a bit of respite, and obviously you get back to the grind. But that's, you know, that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting to have an eternity of rest. Okay, we're fighting to have a lifetime's worth of rest, and with Yahweh Shai returning, this earth is going to be returned into a paradise. But you know, there's certain places out here that are cool and everything, right, where you could chill out or whatever, but for the most part, this is hell. Okay, for the most part, we're in hell, right? For the most part, that the scripture says, we sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. We see the grievous works of the wicked. All right, there's a way that the scripture phrases it, but I'm going to go with that. We see the audacious works of witchcraft that the wicked commit. We see the grievous works of the wicked, the enterprise of the wicked that they try to establish upon the face of the planet. And it's very grieving to the spirit, right? It's very grieving, right? It leaves the body exhausted. Okay, when you really start to think about how the earth could be and what we got, how life could be and what we have, it's very tasking on the mind. It's very tasking on the spirit. It's very tasking on the soul. Okay? And we think about also the time of Jacob's trouble that's coming. We think about the situations that we could be presented with. You know, that weighs on the mind too. Just like Yahweh Shai, when he went into the garden. Okay? Thoughts, you know, these thoughts that we have, they weigh upon the mind. And also too, the diets that we have, they don't help us really manage the thoughts that we have, because the scripture talks about how the food that we're going to be eating in this society was going to be defiled underneath the Gentiles, man. You know, we ain't really having a great and wholesome diet. Even if you do go organic and if you do all the efforts, which really you want to put as much effort into your diet as you physically can do, but you know, there's only so much you can do when you're living in captivity and you got to rely upon another nation to provide you with food. There's only so much you could do. Okay? So all of these things that really weary the mind, weary the soul, weary the spirit. With all that being said, Billy, you really have to make an effort, just as much effort as you would to exercise, is as much effort as you should put towards making sure your mind is running right. And you know, really what they say is, you know, if the body's running right, usually the mind is running right. Okay? If the body's running right, the mind is usually running right. But both things, they kind of rely on each other. So you have to have the mind running right to get the body running right. It's a bit of a chicken and egg type situation. All right? But you could take yourself out to one of these fields that they have out here. And that's one thing you notice about these Edomites, man. They like to go out there on a trail. Okay, they like to go out there, and I'm talking about these wealthy Edomites, man. They like to go out there on a trail, and they like to go out there and really experience life. Really, that's what life is, man. It's just a journey, right? Okay, beginning, middle, and end. And you would hope the end of the thing is better than the beginning thereof. But it's just a journey, right? And so when you go on these trails, it actually trains the mind into really what this is all about, which is just a journey, beginning, middle, and end. Okay, you learn to appreciate the journey. Same thing within this truth. You come into this truth at the beginning, you know, it's sweet in your mouth. Okay, the doctrine is sweet in your mouth, and over time you really realize that, no, man, we ain't really doing good, right? The children of Israel ain't really doing great. We ain't really in a great position, man. God damn it. Okay, we're through, and so forth and so on and so forth and so on and so on and so forth, right? Come to the conclusion that really we need Yahweh Shai. That's the only way out. Okay, it becomes bitterness to you. It becomes another weight on your shoulders, so you can understand. Okay, it becomes a weight on your shoulders, but you learn to deal with it, right? You learn to grow underneath those circumstances. You learn to appreciate the abundance of scriptures and understanding that the Most High gives us, and that becomes a beautiful thing within itself. The same thing with these trails and these walks, and you know, like I'm a guy that, you know, like I'm always doing something. I've always got a project on or whatever. I've always got something going on, but really I gotta come into a remembrance that, look, man, it's not all about go, you know. You gotta give yourself, you gotta give your mind time to recalibrate, put things into perspectives. And you know, when you go into nature, right, devoid of Wi-Fi service, okay, devoid of internet service, right, devoid of all of this technology that we got, which, you know, the technology has got its little uses in that, right? The technology has got its little uses in that, but it's nice to be away from that for a little while. Okay, it's nice to be away from that for a little while, and that really, you know, that's why we had the feast of booths, okay, the Feast of Tabernacles, right? Okay, where we went away from all the goodies, man. All right, and that was like a rest from your material possessions in a certain kind of a way, and you know, it kind of allows the mind to put things into perspective. You really begin to understand what's important in life. You know, when you just got the birds singing and the birds chirping, you hear the water running down the side of the mountain. It sounds like a reggae song, right? Birds chirping, water running down the side of the mountain. That sounds like a reggae song. Right? You hear the birds chirping, you hear the water running down the side of a mountain. Okay, you smell the natural odors the Most High's got out there. Okay, the trees, how they have a particular smell. All right, if you're around particular animals, they have a particular smell about them. Yeah, you really begin to understand what this thing is all about, man. All right, how this earth is supposed to be a paradise, and it's supposed to be enjoyed like a paradise. You really begin to understand that, man. You really begin to bless the Most High, okay, for this garden that He's made. And Lord's will, Yahweh shall return soon, so we can enjoy the garden that He created, okay? Because we can't really enjoy it right now. And you know, I'm speaking about this mental health, and I'm speaking about all of these big ideas, but really underneath the rulership of Esau, there's only so much you could do, which, you know, the main message of this video is do as much as you can for your body and do as much as you can for your mind. I mean, that's the real that's the main message of this video. Do as much as you can for your body, right? Exercise, okay? Exercise, okay? Diet, all right? And also do stuff for your mind. Trails, bike rides. Hey, if you can go camping, right? If you've got the resources and the time to do it, right? But a nice 1 hour long walk in nature, man, you'd be surprised what it does to the mind when you're able to implement it in a systematic way. You really get to reset your body. Yeah, you might do that with your family. You might do it on your own. It depends what type of personality you have. Okay, certain people. I mean, I go both ways. Pause. Right? My mind works both ways. Okay, sometimes I like being on my own. Sometimes, you know, I like being around people. So, you know, I might go on a trail with somebody, or I might go on my own, right? But, you know, it depends what type of spirit's on me. Okay, to see it, to where I can get the main benefits of it, which is really just to reset the mind to get back into the grind. Really, I mean, I hate to put it like that, but that's really it. Like when the boxer bucks, he goes into the corner for a little while to reset, get a little bit of a breather, and you get back in that ring. I mean, I ain't saying going out there and it's going to change your lifestyle. You going to catch less hell. It's not how this thing works, man. Okay, it's not how this thing works. It's just, look, man, take a second, get a drink, like, get your breather on the stool, like, get back into the ring. That's really what this is really the main message of the video, man. Here's your stool, here's your drink, right? Take a little bit of a breather and jump back in the ring. How Shai did the same thing, man. Okay, so let's read this first part of this precept, which is going to be relevant to the video. It says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, right? Which the word here, the Hebrew word there is la'ab, meaning mind. Okay, because the plague of the mind, that affects everything, man. When your mind is through, you're through. You're done. Okay, you're done. You're done. You're through. And even on a grind, even in intense type situations, there's particular things that you could do to look after your mind. There's particular things that you could do to maintain your mind. But once you have that plague of the mind, chronic stress, all right, insomnia, that's a plague of the mind. That is a plague of the mind for the most part. Sometimes it's a diet thing, but diet is the mind. Your diet's off, hormones are off, now you got a mind issue. Okay, so that's a plague of the mind. What else? Hey, you know, I'll put this out there. I'll put this out there, right? We're all men out here, okay? We're all men out here, and we got a terrible diet underneath Esau. When you got the ED is a mental thing for the most part. Sometimes it's a diet thing, and really is a diet thing. But then it all works all simultaneously. Okay, it all works all simultaneously. But from what I've read, if you're experiencing the big ED, the first thing they try to look at is your stress levels and all this, that, and the third. And these simple things you could do on a week-to-week basis, not necessarily to alleviate your stress, because this is a stressful lifestyle that we live. Okay, it's just the nature of the game. But to manage your stress, okay, that is to say, there's points when you switch off, there's points when you get back in the ring, there's points when you're swinging blows, and there's points in your weekly schedule when you're working on your mind. Okay, you're resetting your mind. Okay, so give me any plague but the plague of the mind, because the mind, hey man, once the mind is off, man, it's difficult to get it back on point. Little things you could do: reading, bibliography, music. I know that music thing is a bit of a demon for some brothers, and I get it, because it's a trap within itself, okay? But for some brothers, you know, having the little instrument in the man cave, that really helps him. You know, it helps me. I know it helps me, man. You know, for the most part, I can't really sleep until I play a little music, you know, on the guitar or whatever. And that was one of the greatest gifts, you know, my father gave me, man. Okay, he was like, look, man, every young man needs to be able to play an instrument, and your mind works different. Okay, I mean, I feel like I've said all I need to say on this video, but yeah, man, you gotta look after your mind. Look after your mind, okay? With that, I'm gonna say all praise unto Yahweh, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and the honest brothers will be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.